This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Major advertising company makes about turn on requiring staff to be vaccinated. A major advertising company based in St. Andrew has withdrawn a threat forcing staff to resign if they refuse to be vaccinated against COVID-19. In internal correspondence issued on April 12 under the signature of Director Robert McCook, Caledonia Outdoor Advertising Limited gave a 14-day ultimatum for staff to be immunized against the novel coronavirus or face the risk of losing their jobs. The company is therefore mandating all members of staff to be vaccinated within the next 14 days, the internal memo read. Persons with a medical condition who are not able to get the vaccine is asked to present a letter from their doctor. But in a reversal on Thursday, after resistance appeared to be growing against the order, the billboard company scrapped the termination threat. The company has also advised team members that none will be asked to resign if they fail to receive the vaccine, a statement issued to the news said in response to the queries. Caledonia sought to strike a conciliatory note, saying it was committed to the well-being of all its members and their families and has strongly encouraged the team members to take the vaccine in an effort to safeguard themselves and their families from the varying levels of damage that can be caused by COVID-19 across all age groups. However, in Thursday's statement, the company said that team members who for medical reasons cannot be vaccinated can provide written exemption reports from their doctors. According to the company's Office of Jamaica Records, the McCook family, Robert, Jamie Lee, Beverly, and Wayne, has a lock on the Caledonia outdoor directorships. The Wholeness Administration has repeatedly said that persons would not be forced to be inoculated against COVID-19. Crash survivor cancelled plans to take son at last minute. Something just didn't feel right. That's the sense that gnawed away at the mind of Derek Price as he traveled from Balaclava to Kingston on a Toyota Hiace minibus on the fateful Monday morning that climaxed with a deadly crash that claimed 5 lives. Price, father of 2, had serendipitously left behind one of his sons whose bags were packed and ready to accompany him, but for some reason he decided to postpone his son's trip to Kingston for the following day. The 45-year-old survivor, whose body still aches from the bangs he sustained in the crash, is haunted by memories of the carnage along the P.J. Patterson leg of Highway 2000 that saw bodies thrown along the asphalt. Up to press time Thursday night, 3 people were still hospitalized, including the driver Dwayne Fowler, who is reportedly in a critical condition. Speaking from his St. Elizabeth home, where he has been recovering since being discharged from the Spanish Town Hospital on Tuesday, Price recalled how the impact of the April 12 crash propelled an infant from a mother's embrace into his lap. He has corroborated the account of Sherka Carter that there were strange noises coming from the bus. The Balaclava resident said he was spooked by noise at the vehicle's rear from as early as 10 minutes into the trip. He just wasn't paying any attention to what we were saying. He totally disregarded us, and by now we were on the highway, heading to Kingston at top speed, he said. I knew that we were in trouble, so I started talking to God to keep us safe. I was very concerned about the lady with the baby. All along, the baby kept looking at me with a smile, but I could see that the mother was uncomfortable, said Price. After the driver lost control and struck a truck, it overturned several times before perching on a median. After it came to a stop, the screams and shouts got louder, with persons who were trapped inside trying to get out. The baby was briefly in my lap, while the mother, who seemed to be unhurt except for some bruises, was panicking but was able to now hold the baby, he said. Price said he quickly jumped out of the window and rescued the infant and the mother from the wreck. He said that he then helped 4 or 5 others from the vehicle, including a heavyset lady who was bleeding badly. I strongly believed I was doing God's work and he was protecting me because I watched the accident happen and I didn't panic one bit because the minute we started out, I had this strange feeling that something would happen, but I would be around to help some people, Price, a self-professed man of faith, declared. Mom prayed while gunmen killed son. Convinced that gunmen were on the hunt for her 20-year-old son, Dwayne Christopher Scott, when they barged into her home in Crowder District, Westmoreland, Veronica Lawrence prayed throughout the ordeal that her two daughters would not be harmed. Scott, who is known in his community as Rubbish Heap, was among 3 killed in a spree of shootings by gunmen on Wednesday night. The other victims were 36-year-old Chriselle Hudson, otherwise called Eunuch, a carpenter of Crowder District, and 28-year-old Akeem Bent, otherwise called Red Bull, a Tyler of Burnt Savannah District. Lawrence told the news that she was in bed in another room of the house when the men entered. It happened about 10:30, and I know say my son them come for, because them just keep on a ask everyone say, "How the boy Rubbish Heap there?" she recalled. Lawrence said the men went to another house occupied by her 18-year-old daughter and held her at gunpoint. They then demanded that she take them to the house occupied by her brother. They make she carry them to my son's house. And when they bust inside, my eldest daughter was sleeping in the room, and my son hid underneath the bed, but them still find him and shoot him, she said, expressing gratitude that her daughters were spared harm. According to Lawrence, a few years ago, her son was constantly in trouble and stealing people's property, but he had changed his life and was now a construction worker. Him used to give pure trouble and thief people things, and every time the yard full of police and soldier. But since of late, me not hear nobody a come complain about him, so I don't know what him do this time, she told the news. The eldest victim, Chriselle Hudson, was well loved by residents in Crowder District. His sister, Kadian Hudson, was in tears when the news visited the family home yesterday. Them just kill him like that and left him 5 children. Up to now, me still can't believe, Kadian stated. Kadian said she was told that her brother was begging for his life when he was killed, adding that he was an honest, hard-working carpenter who was only focused on taking care of his 5 children. The Grangeville police have commenced an investigation into the triple killing, but they have not determined a motive. Reports by the police are that about 10:30 p.m., heavily armed men invaded Crowder District and opened fire on several residents in the community. Residents alerted the police after the gunmen were seen opening fire on several residents at a tenement yard in the area. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, Hudson was found with gunshot wounds along the roadway, and Bent and Scott, who attempted to evade the gunmen by hiding underneath their beds, were discovered dead. The Grangeville policing area remains one of the most violent sections of Westmoreland and still has a record for the most murders in a 24-hour period, when gunmen killed 7 persons, including a 2-year-old, in a rampage in May 2018. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.